Hi, my name is Mark Pinkus, president of Rhino Records.
Hey, I'm Jason Jones from the Rhino A&R team.
Today we are unboxing the new Grateful Dead box set, Friend of the Devils, April 1978.
It's really great to see the band from this time period, from 1978, finally getting its due. There's a line in Steve Silberman's liner notes that says, "The Dead were a band that fed off of Metamorphosis." In listening to all of the shows, were there certain shows that were more impactful to you as a longtime, fan and someone who's worked very closely with the band over the years?
Yeah, I mean, first off, 1978 is unfortunately an underrepresented year. So the idea of getting 8 unreleased shows from 78 at one shot is fantastic. And if you go back and take a refresher and listen to some of your Spring 77 tour, so you're literally 1 year apart, and this is an entirely different band. So it's a metamorphosis to the nth degree. You hear Donna in a completely different way in the mix. She can hear herself on stage, and she talks about it a bit in the Good Old Grateful Dead podcast. So she's singing the best that she's ever sang with the band on this box set. Keith's piano sounds great, so he is right up there in the mix. And just when you listen to those estimated eyes, which come up a couple of times, and on the final one, the 416 estimated eyes, the jam between it, the transition, it just blows your mind. I mean, this band is on fire on this box set.
412, 416, those performances are incredible. Do you have a favorite show from this box?
At this point, I would say my favorite show is the Duke show, and I think part of it is that I've just listened to that show out of the 8 the most, and that one is both in the box and a breakout. That Duke show, when the band hits the stage and they go into Jack Straw, you can feel the energy. It's just, the place just starts vibrating, and it comes right through on the CD. And I do think one of the things which is really interesting, and I've never said this about any of our box sets, is the drum segments, or as they're calling the Rhythm Devils. It's the first time that it became official, and it's in all 8 shows. And you just hear, sometimes you hear the pots and pans with the head of catering came out. You got Jerry Garcia playing the steel drum. These drums sequences, the Rhythm Devil tracks, are so interesting and unique, where all of a sudden I feel like with all 8 shows, they're a unique cornerstone of all of them. And the 416, they really make quite a racket. It's awesome.
And it's super cool to just see the format of these shows laying the groundwork for how most Grateful Dead shows would go for the next 17 years or so.
Yeah, they just have a sound closer to being at the show, where sometimes it gets so cleaned up that it's almost too clean. If there is such a thing, and these Betty boards feel very much like you're part of the show.
Awesome.
And in classic Grateful Dead Rhino way, we've got a box set, which is always a mystery about what do you do with the box set. Do you throw the outer box away, or do you keep it because they're a work of art in their own right? Ta-da! And should we take a moment to talk about the artwork, just because we're seeing all these interesting elements? Matthew Brannon. Matthew Brannon doesn't just show in the Kordansky office, but he's in the gallery, he's in MoMA in LA, he's in New York, he's in contemporary museums around the world. Great book.
Great book,
notes.
Steve Silberman, the late great Steve Silberman.
If
It's a testament to his work. This is a really thoughtful, loving essay about this time period of the band, which know how passionate he was about this project specifically. It's bittersweet, but it's really beautiful that he was able to contribute to this box.
And you got the drawer,
which all of them have basically like ticket stubs on the covers from those shows. So it's pretty awesome. So there you go.
And that's the box set. Super excited about the success of this box so far. Again, with 1978 being an underserved year, it is selling great. These boxes tend to all sell out in the first month or so on dead.net, so hopefully you'll find it there.
This is another really great box. The design is top notch, and you get a drum. I mean, can't beat that. Well, you can. This is kind of a thing that we've been reiterating throughout this entire video of how special it is to celebrate 1978, and now you can physically hold 1978 in your hands.
This is always my favorite time of year, when once a year we do our big Grateful Dead box set, and I would be remiss not to shout out David Lemieux, the band's archivist specifically. He knows what shows. Nobody's got a better ear than David. He knows what shows to pick. He helps set up these boxes in such a creative and interesting and musically appealing way. So a big shout out to David, who I've been working on the Grateful Dead with for almost 15 years now. 33 years at Rhino, and they finally asked me to do an unboxing video. I'm absolutely thrilled that April 1978, Friend of the Devils by the Grateful Dead is my first box set. It could end up being my only one, so thank you very much for watching. We both appreciate it. And available now shipping on dead.net. So make your way over there if you want one.